Hey guys, Zomfox here, and today we're going to be doing a video which I asked if you guys wanted, and you overwhelmingly said you do, and that is me showing my USFL collection off. Now, I asked you guys about this because, well, today is the 2-year anniversary of the channel. It's been a really incredible journey. Going from just, the starting it before we actually had any football played from the USFL to now the USFL is merging with the XFL, and we have no idea what's actually happening in regards to it. But it's good to take a break sometimes from all the merger stuff and talk about something that's just kind of neat. Showing off some stuff that a couple of the items are stuff you'll see, but a couple of them are really nice ones I think you guys will appreciate. As I said, it's been 2 years. It's a pretty incredible journey. We're getting close to 500 subscribers. We're like less than 140 away. So if you could help out on that, that'd be really cool. Now, the one thing I will say is this is purely based on stuff that is true USFL memorabilia and cards and all that. Essentially, I do have some really nice cards of guys who played in the USFL, whether it be the OG one or the new one. But if they're not actual USFL stuff, I'm not going to talk about it. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it with the modern USFL stuff. So, we're going to start by looking at the new USFL stuff, and I only have one piece of actual memorabilia from the new USFL, and that, of course, is my signed t shirt from the 2023 USFL Championship game. You've all probably seen this, it's in the background of every single one of my face cams, because this is, without a doubt, my favorite piece in the USFL collection, and one of my overall top 5 probably favorite pieces in my whole collection. This t-shirt is signed by four Maulers: Josh Simmons, Boogie Roberts, Keava Tizzino, and Chris Blewett. And not only that, but as you can see, I have the two pictures I was able to actually take with Simmons and Boogie on there as well. It's an insanely cool item to have. It without a doubt is one of the highlights of what is one of the best days of my life, being able to go to that championship game. I mean, there's a reason why I changed it for my, non-subscribed YouTube page opener on my channel to that video because it was just such an insane experience, and I love being able to have this in the background of every video I do with my face cam because it just is without a doubt one of my favorite pieces that I own because of all the sentimental value and the fact that it just really is a really cool thing to have. Now, going into the trading cards of the 2023 USFL set, I just done the box set. I haven't really done any of the e-pack stuff. I'm trying to get a master set of this. I'm just going to kind of go through these kind of fast. I mean, you've seen these all before, the base cards. There's nothing insanely special about them. I have two sets of these from the two boxes I've opened, and whenever I end up opening more, I'll just get more of them, and I'll just keep the best looking ones. So, I mean, these are the basic cards. It's a very, very slick design, as I've talked about before. But overall, I mean, there's nothing special about these cards right here. They're just the base cards. So, just kind of go through them pretty quick. There is a couple of cool ones. I really hope that if we do see a 24 USL box set for this past season, or if it is, the quote unquote UFL as it is, I hope we get those season retrospectives. Those are really cool. So now let's look at some of the parallels. We're going to start off with the gold parallels, Channing's dribbling. Then we have Rashard Davis. I have 6 of these total. I haven't gotten a ton of them, just the ones from the box sets. Cole Hidekini, another decent one. Jordan Sewell. I mean, they're all pretty nice to have. 6 of them out of the 30 is not bad. MBT, solid one. Then, of course, got DeAndre Johnson coming up. And then we're going to start off going to the Blues. The Blues are short printed to $4.99. Kind of numbered, but not really. I mean, out of $4.99, as you can see. Marlon Williams, hope he has a great rebound year this year after his tragic injury. ARW, insanely good receiver from the Gamblers. CJ Maribel, as I talked about in the GOAT vid, insanely underrated modern USL player. Carson Strong, I'm debating on doing a biggest disappointment video on him this offseason. Not great. Then, of course, the Reds out of 99. We're going to start off with Reggie Corbin. Had a couple insane games and a lot of mediocre ones, but overall solid player. Trey Walker out of 99. Another nice one. Then Jamar Smith, one of the best ones you can get. If Alex Magoo ends up staying in the NFL, he's going to have to lead that team next year. Another Marlon Williams. Got the red of him. And then, of course, you're going to go to Kenji Bahar. Really, really solid year this past year. I did not expect him to be that good. I thought he'd be decent, but not that good. Jordan Sewell, very, very solid one. Then DeAndre Johnson. I mean, quarterback. We have no idea what he's going to do this next year. Then the season retrospective of Darius Victor. As I said, I really love these season retrospectives, especially this one. The Stallions win the inaugural USFL chip. But of course, the crown jewel of my USFL 2023 set so far is the Jamar Smith autograph I pulled from my second box set. Insanely cool card to own. Without a doubt, my favorite from this set, and probably will be unless I end up pulling like Mark Thompson or someone else, as he is without a doubt one of the best you can get. Now, the last thing about the new USFL is I still have my 2023 box set that is sealed. I got two of them originally to keep one sealed, and I ended up getting another one at some point. Really cool thing to have sealed. As I talked about before, there's definitely a short print on this box compared to many other box sets themselves. So it's a really cool one to own for a long time. Definitely going to stay in the collection for a while. So now let's go to the OG USFL. We're going to start off by doing the cards first, or some of the cards, then we're going to get to some of the more memorabilia type stuff. Now, this is a complete set of the 1985 Topps USFL set. I got this as, I believe, a birthday gift from my dad a year or two ago. This is a really cool one. I mean, I've wanted to get one, and I'm glad he got it for me, and I have to buy it. I'm going to be honest. But I will be having to get the 84 set at some point. But now, if you're wondering why some of these pages have missing, slots that are missing cards, I'll show those ones later. Those are either the really key cards or cards I'm debating on getting graded. But I do have the complete set of this. It's a really cool set, and I think it's very underrated. The 84 USFL set is considered one of the best 80s football sets there is. But the 85 set, nobody really talks about, despite the fact that it itself is a really good set. I think the overall design of the cards are arguably better, but you still have good rookies. You have Doug Flutie's rookie, Sam Mills, huge rookie, and Gary Clark, among a couple others. And you still have a lot of great second year cards. Second year Reggie White, second year Jim Kelly, second year Steve Young. I mean, there's a lot of them that are in here. Really solid set. But now let's go on to some of the better cards in this set. So we're going to start off with the Doug Flutie rookie, a very solid card. Now, some of these I might end up getting graded. I don't know for sure, but the Reggie White, another really solid card, one of the best cards in the entire set, as it is his second year. And then, of course, how about the man synonymous with the USFL, Herschel Walker? Yes, I am still working on that video. I'm getting closer and closer to getting all the audio done. Then Jim Kelly, great quarterback, one of the best. Steve Young, while he wasn't the most insane in the USFL, dude's a Hall of Famer. He's an absolute legend. Robin Earl, now, this is one of those cards that some of them are just insanely hard to get in high grades. Doug Williams, really solid player. So some of these not superstars, like Will Fuller, great player, but not really a superstar. This is one that they're either really hard to get high grades or just low amounts or just look really good. Gary Clark rookie, that isn't the only one you'll see today. Then we have Mike Clark, another one of the, hard to get in high grade, really solid grading candidate. This Bobby Hebert legitimately could get a 10 from like a Beckett or an SGC, which if you know how tough it is to get a 10 there in vintage, this one has a shot at it. I don't know for sure if I'm going to send it in, but I probably will. Then a Novo, really solid one again. Hard, lower end in terms of getting a high grade. And then Sam Mills rookie. This is the only card I've gotten graded from the set myself. It did get a 7, which isn't the best. It's all because of centering. I kind of knew it wasn't getting a high grade, but I'm glad to get it slabbed. I am planning on probably upgrading that at some point, but we'll see. Now, as for the graded cards, let's start off with RV Min and PSA 9. This is a pop 17 with 14 higher. Essentially, the pop count is the grade it is, and then higher is what it could be, as 10 is the only higher one in PSA. Mark Lewis in a PSA 9 is a pop 15 with only 10 higher. A lot of these are insanely tough to get in these high grades because of the card's red border. David Martin, really underrated OG USFL player. This is a pop 18 with 11 higher. Essentially, the cards that have less than 15 in a PSA 10, those are the ones you really would love to get in a PSA 10, but I don't have a ton yet. Kiki Dialia, really solid player, PSA 9. That is a pop 14 with 18 higher. Then we have a pop 16 here of Clarence Verdin with a decent amount higher. It's like 18-ish higher, I believe, or 12. I think it's 12 higher. Then the Gary Clark rookie, really solid one. This is definitely one of the best graded cards I have. This is a a population 182 with 72 higher. I do hope to get a PSA 10 this upcoming year. Brian Franco in a PSA 9. This is a pop 12 with only 9 higher. Less than 10 PSA 10s exist to that card. Ramon Henderson. This one is not the rarest of all of them. This is the most common PSA 9 I have of the non-stars. It's a pop 21. Then Ben Rudolph. This one is a pop 13. Only 3 higher. Insanely hard card to get in a high grade. Then we have the only PSA 10 I have of the 85 set and Eddie Weaver. This is actually a pop 10. That's it. There's none higher. Pop 10, really, really solid card to own. As you can see, it's a beauty. Sharp corners, insanely center. And the last card is the Sam Bowers, number 77. That is a PSA 9 with only 4 higher. Another really hard one to get. But that's not all. We got some 84 cards. I don't have nearly as many 84s as I do the 85s. I've got the Herschel Walker rookie. I did not pay $200 for this, by the way. I know that it may look like I did. The guy does like a 50% off sticker, and I got it for even less than that, so I got it for well under $100. This card used to be worth over $100, but it still is a really solid card. Then how about this one? a Reggie White PSA 9, though it does have the print defect. Qualifiers, as you can see in the parentheses over there, pretty much mean it is a PSA 9 minus the actual defects, as you can see those dots on it. But even with it, it is a Pop 74 with qualifiers, and then there's 461 without qualifiers, but only 8 higher. Insanely tough card to get in a high grade. Then we got a PSA 10 from the 84 set. Good old Larry is a Pop 12. There is 69 total graded of this card, and only 12 of them have got the PSA 10, and I own one of them. So, very solid. And then the other one is the Joey Hackett in a PSA 10. This one is a Pop 18, so there are 6 more of them. But this one was graded 83 times, so it's still a very, very hard card to get in a high grade. Now, let's move away from the cards for a sec, as I still have a few more, but, let's look at these ones. These are some of the jumbo ones. These are the Oakland Invaders with Smokey the Bear. Really solid, just a mini 5-card set. I got this Invaders lot a little while ago. It was a really good deal, and I got a lot of nice stuff in it. This is one of the, I believe it's only 3 sets they've done with this, and this is definitely one of the cooler ones. So, really, really nice one, all things considered. Gary Plummer, though, is really the only star of them all, but still a really solid bunch. Now let's move on to the tickets. Now, in terms of the tickets stuff, we're going to start with these couple schedules. Not exactly tickets, but a couple Invader schedules that were from that lot. But, they're a really cool thing to have. Definitely a nice, extra piece to have. But in terms of the actual tickets, a lot of these, well, some of them are kind of just middle of the road, just ant type of tickets. You've got, a Michigan Invaders game, in the 84 season. Then we have a bunch of 85 tickets, the second game for the Invaders that year in 85. And Invaders Generals in Invaders Portland coming up as the 8th game of the season. Then we have a couple other ones. You have an LA Express game against the Invaders in 1983. How about a Gunslingers game against the Bandits? And then we have a couple full tickets that are really nice looking. Breakers Express in 83, and then the Outlaws Gunslingers. A couple of really nice looking full tickets. But those aren't the tickets that I'm ready to show you, because we got a couple really nice ones. Well, trust me, this one, very underrated. This is the first game post-merger between the Invaders and Panthers, meaning this is guys like Anthony Carter and Bobby Aber's first game as an Invader, and it's just the first game of the post-merged Invaders. Really solid one. Then how about we go to a couple, pardon me, the most underrated ticket, I think, of all of them. The Oklahoma Outlaws' first ticket in 1984. This is 2 huge keys. This is Doug Williams' USFL debut and Mike Rozier's pro football debut. This is a beautiful one that I'm probably going to get graded at some point. Very underrated. You can get this easily under $20, and it definitely should not be worth that little. Just a really, really good one. Now, how about a couple ones? A 1985 playoff game of the Invaders, and then a 1985 championship game ticket. Yeah, these were big. The championship game tickets were huge. I definitely need to get an upgraded one at some point. As you see, it's a huge crease. That is the best ticket of that whole lot I got in the Invaders stuff. And the playoff ticket. The playoff tickets are pretty hard to come by, believe it or not. But the championship one, really cool. How about this one? This is a really low-grade one. It's just the stub. But this is Herschel Walker's pro football debut. And it's his first touchdown in professional football as well. The Express versus the Generals in 1983. Definitely need to get a better one at some point. But that's one of the best you can get, with Reggie White's being the only one better. All right, now it's time to go to some of the more big boy stuff. This one's just a picture again, but this is a 1985 New Jersey Generals Topps Perforated. This is a 9-card complete set. Still very affordable. But as you can see, this has a Doug Flutie on it. This is one of the only 2 Doug Flutie rookies there are. And it's a really underrated card. Considering the fact that it is a perforated set, it is a lot harder to get in high grades. Herschel Walker is a really nice card too. Definitely going to try and get these 2 graded at some point, but I might end up getting another set just to keep one. It's a really cool thing, and I would recommend getting one, as you can get these well under $50. But now it's time for the true big boys. We're going to start with a 1984 media guide of the Tampa Bay Bandits signed by Ron Simmons and Lex Luger, or known as Lawrence Pearl. As you can see, this is authenticated by JSA. Insanely cool piece. Both have awesome inscriptions. For those of you who don't know, these 2 wrestling legends were both on this team at the same time. As you can see, there's Ron Simmons right there. And then, of course, you got Lawrence Pearl, as I've said before, better known as Lex Luger. This is the first and really only true memorabilia, I guess you'll call it, type piece of the OG USFL, but is an awesome one. So, how about another really cool piece? Because it's nice. This isn't the most expensive thing, but a Scott Werner signed USFL card. I'd love to get a lot of these cards signed if I could. This is definitely one of the nicer ones. He is an all USL player, but not the most expensive, but still a nice one. But now we're going to start to really the big three. The Herschel Walker in the game used sports leaf card from, I believe it's like 22 leaf. As you can see, that is an actual ticket, the Generals versus Denver Gold ticket stub from 1984, and it is signed by Herschel Walker, though it is a sticker. As you can see, it is an authentic USFL ticket. Now, this video was only USFL stuff, but as I said, this pretty much is a USFL card, even though it has him in like his Cowboys uniform, though it's they technically can't show the star because they don't have the license. This is a USFL card, all things considered. If you're able to get one, I would highly recommend it. This is arguably the single most iconic piece you could get for a USFL collection, and it's not even an OG USFL card. It just screams USFL. But now we're going to go to one of the two biggest pieces, as these top two are the top two. Steve Young, Jim Kelly, dual signed proof ticket of the greatest game no one ever saw. I believe there's only one other known one that is signed by both of them. This is a proof ticket, which, unlike cards, proof tickets are much less desirable than normal tickets. But for those of you who don't know, the greatest game no one ever saw is exactly that. It was a game where Jim Kelly passed for 574 yards, which is still the record in a single game in American gridiron football rules, as CFL is technically more, but yeah. The game was insane. It was like a 20-point comeback for Jim Kelly's Gamblers had. No one watched it really because they had like less than 20,000 people in attendance. And then the other issue was the fact that ABC, I believe it was, decided to air Doug Flutie's debut instead of this game. So it got that nickname, as it is one of the best games no one ever saw. But then the last item, Anthony Carter, 1984 Topps, PSA 9, signed, autograph grade 10. This is the best Anthony Carter card in existence at the moment. There's like 30 PSA 10s, so you can't use the argument that there's a PSA 10 rookie better than this. And the only other card that really has an argument is like a 2005 Topps All-American Superfractor autograph, but it's a sticker autograph, and it's a post-playing career in a college uni. This is his rookie signed. This is a Pop 1. There are no other PSA 9s, and there's none in a 10, and there's none higher that I know of in any other company. So for all intents and purposes, this is the best card of the greatest Michigan Panther of all time. I know you could argue Bobby Hebert as well, so it's between those two. But this Anthony Carter card is just, when I got this, I was like, man, this is sick. This should be worth a lot more than it is. Definitely my favorite piece in the USFL stuff. So that'll do it. That is my USFL collection as of 2 years since my channel's been birthed, I guess. Again, thank you all for watching, not just this video, but all the other videos I've done. It's been 2 years. Time flies. It's going to probably feel like just a couple months until we hit the next year and get the 3-year anniversary. Hopefully we can hit some huge milestones. Hopefully we hit 500 subscribers within the first couple months this next year. Hopefully the merger announcement is made more official instead of just, hey, it's signed. Hopefully we know what's going on. And hopefully I can do this as a yearly video and, add stuff that I've upgraded, add stuff that I just added to the collection and all that. We'll see. Make sure to subscribe, everybody. Make sure to hit the bell. Make sure to like the video. But as always, have a great night.